Hello, this is Dan Ferrisi, Editor-in-Chief with Commercial Integrator. So happy to be joined today by Tom Richards, who is Vice President of Business Development for the RCC market vertical with Environmental Lights. The topic of conversation is, of course, houses of worship, pertaining to our House of Worship Deep Dive, which is all over commercialintegrator.com throughout this month, as well as, of course, in our print issue. The print issue houses our deep dive report, as well as a really insightful thought leadership sidebar written by Environmental Lights. Thank you so much, Tom, for being here today to add some further insight and further perspective on the House of Worship market and how Environmental Lights is critical to it.
Thanks, Dan. Nice to be here.
Really appreciate your thought leadership, really appreciate your participation in this initiative. Let's talk for now about the business opportunity for integrators in the lighting category, not just in the House of Worship market, of course, which is particularly ripe and topical in this context, but just in general. This is a real opportunity area for integrators, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's a great place to start. We have a great technology with our REVI system, all low voltage, all designed for a commercial integration. But the bottom line here is the bottom line. That's why commercial integrators want to get involved in lighting. And so many commercial integrators, particularly in the House of Worship market, have not previously engaged in lighting. It's a great opportunity for them to drive new revenue. It's a higher margin product than pretty much anything else that they're selling. And they're completely capable with our system, because of the control element of it and the low voltage element of it for taking care of the full lighting installation.
It really does seem like an opportunity integrators should be paying close attention to. In our House of Worship Deep Dive report, one of our subject matter experts, David Lee, a very well-known integrator specializing in the worship market, said that he really thinks lighting has been the trend in worship markets over the last 5 years or so, just in terms of the transformation of spaces with new lighting technology. So I think you have your finger on something that a lot of integrators need to think about. This is not necessarily the electrician's job. There's a place for the AV integration community to do this.
Yeah, that's 100% correct. And we're seeing that with the House of Worship integrators that have engaged with us recently, and for some of them going back more than 2 years, that once they understand just how easy it is for them to implement and install lighting, it's just they're just doing more and more and more, so that the repeat element of the customers that we're engaging with on the lighting side, it's very, very high. Once they've done one project, they realize this is a opportunity for growth and additional scope on the projects that they've won.
So let's talk about REVI Commercial for a moment, if you'd like to. I know that you talked about, some of the benefits that your products have, that Environmental Lights products have. REVI Commercial, I'm thinking in particular, the reduction in electrical circuits, improved light coverage, better quality, more longevity. Do you want to emphasize some of those benefits, what REVI Commercial is and how it differentiates from competitors?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. Like, the reliability point is really important. Changing a light fixture or a light bulb in a church or a high ceiling space is very, very difficult. Often you have to get a lift in. So it becomes very expensive. What churches will frequently do is they'll wait for multiple fixtures to fail, then they'll bring a lift in and get them changed out. So having a reliable, long-lasting system is really important. The REVI system doesn't have any onboard electronics. All the electronics are done through a remote driver 300 feet away from the light fixtures. So there is no onboard power conversion, line voltage reduction, all that power isolation that you see in a typical line voltage fixture. None of that's on board. The fixtures just have a heat sink, a chip, and an optic. So super reliable. The control side of it is really important too. Very smooth dimming, really low drop off. You can interface it with the stage lighting or lighting system you've got, again, for the other parts of the church. And you mentioned the energy efficiency, and we've got a couple of case studies on our website In one case, the church that installed our lights went from 50, it was actually closer to 54 20 amp circuits down to 8 20 amp circuits with installation of REVI. We had another church, this was Crosspoint, that's on our website as well. They had an 85% reduction in power implementing our system. They actually got a 1-year payback on the investment they made in our lighting. So the energy efficiency, the dimming and control, and the reliability, those are 3 great elements of our system.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more, Tom. The system elements are very impressive. I think they're going to have a lot of continued attention paid to them in these worship environments. And I want to make sure Commercial Integrator in our deep dive is doing our part to amplify not just what Environmental Lights is doing, which is really impressive, but also just the power of the lighting market. It's not just something for electricians. This is something that integrators can really sink their teeth into, profit from, and make it be a core part of their business, isn't it?
100%. It's an opportunity that everyone should be taking advantage of.
Well, thank you so much, Tom Richards, Vice President of Business Development for the RCC Market Vertical with Environmental Lights, for joining me today. Really appreciate your thought leadership.
Thanks, Dan. Appreciate the opportunity to be here.
And I also want to praise once again Environmental Lights sidebar contribution to the House of Worship deep dive in our August issue. Really insightful comments about opportunities related to the lighting category and how Environmental Lights can help integration businesses like yours. My name is Dan Ferrisi, Editor-in-Chief with Commercial Integrator. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please check back on commercialintegrator.com throughout the month for more exciting and interesting thought leadership content pertaining to our House of Worship deep dive and all of our worship-related coverage. Thank you again, and we'll see you soon.
Wow.